Hello and welcome back. This is Carmen of BohemianAcademics.com, and in this video we're going to be talking about how to pick the right homeschool model for your family. We're going to be talking about how to pick the right homeschool model for your family. So if you are new here, I am Carmen Andrea Harris, the creator and founder of Bohemian Academics. I'm also an academic homeschool coach and a certified grief counselor. So in this video, I'm going to give you an overview of popular homeschool methods, and I'm going to help you to get an idea of how to choose based on your personal values and your rhythm that you want to create in your homeschool with your children. So one of the biggest questions that I get from new homeschool moms is, how do I know what homeschool method is right for us? So today I'm going to break down a few popular models, and I'm going to help you to figure out what fits your flow, not what's trending, not what you see on TikTok or YouTube, but what's going to fit for you. Because what I found a lot of times, even as an experienced homeschool mom and educator, if you get too wrapped up in watching what all of these other homeschool moms are doing, it can be overwhelming. It can make you feel like you have to do things that don't even align with your soul, your spirit, your household, and what it is that you want to do. So this video is going to help you to kind of get grounded and to get clear on what type of flow you want to have in your personal homeschool without trying to duplicate or replicate or align yourself with the trend of the day or what this mom is doing or that mom is doing. So some common homeschool approaches, which can also be considered homeschool models or styles. Number one is the traditional or the school at home. I talked in the last video a little bit about how when I first started traditionally homeschooling both of my daughters, I started with a combination of the school at home and then the eclectic style. So with the traditional or the school at home, this mirrors public school in a way with a set curriculum. You have desks and you have a schedule. Sometimes the schedule can be strict starting off until you learn that, it's okay to give yourself grace. For example, when we had the school at home, when we first started, my daughters, they had their own desks, they had their chairs. I had the, what we call in the education field, we had the print-rich environment, meaning that I had an alphabet line, I had a number line, I had multiplication table charts, division charts, a hundreds chart, all of that. I had all the different posters and things on the walls where my daughters could look up, and they could, if they forgot what number came before 79, they could look on the number line. This is when they were younger, when we first started about 5 years ago. And they had their desks, we had a schedule, I had the schedule on the wall. And I started off with having set times for my schedule. And then as time went on and I learned that, okay, I can give myself grace, I wasn't so rigid, I just had like the subject that we were going to do. Like, okay, first thing in the morning, we're doing our homeschool Bible study. Next, we're going to do math for 30 minutes. After that, we're going to do language arts for 30 minutes. As opposed to in the beginning, it was like, okay, from 8 to 8:30, we're doing homeschool Bible study. From 8:40 to 9:20, we're going to be doing math from this time to that time. So I kind of loosened up the reins a little bit as I got more into my flow. So the pros of having school at home are structure. It creates structure. If you're a person who operates off of structure and you get off track, if there's no structure, this is going to work for you. Some of the cons are it often causes burnout because you feel like you have to be so strict and stuck to this schedule, okay? A second model that is popular is the Charlotte Mason model. This model of homeschooling is gentle, it's nature-based, read alouds, living books, short lessons. It values beauty, it values habit formation, and it values time outdoors, okay? So if you're more like into nature and just kind of taking it slow and getting outside in the elements and all of that, the Charlotte Mason method may be for you. A third one, model and style of homeschooling is the classical model. This is rooted in logic, memorization, Socratic discussion, Socrates, and it's heavy in history, language, and writing. All right. Next up, we have the unschooling or the interest-led model, and this has been one that has had a lot of controversial discussions in the past few years from what I've seen, okay? The unschooling, it's a model where the children, they follow curiosity, they learn through life, they learn through projects, they learn through passions. I have not tried this method before. And again, this is your homeschool, you do it your way. I just recently read an article where it was a young woman who she did unschooling with her parents, but I don't think they necessarily taught her like the basics. So she had a lot of educational gaps. However, she went on to like graduate from college, I think at the age of 40 or something like that. So the unschooling method has been a little bit controversial. I'm not well versed on it. I don't know if there's any like academic foundation to it. I just know that it's child-led. If the child wakes up and says they want to learn about robotics or creating robots that day, they do that. My biggest thing with homeschool is that I got away from the school at home model, the rigidity, feeling like I was stuck in a certain structure. However, at our core and our foundation, my daughters know that the basics of what we are always going to learn is going to be reading, writing, and arithmetic. That's old school. I'm dating myself when I say arithmetic. That's math. You're going to be reading, language arts, the math, science and social studies, and real life skills, entrepreneurship. So we have our basic foundational things that I think are important for my children, just for basic common knowledge, to be a functional adult, and also for them to be able to prosper and live well in real life, okay? Didn't mean to go off on the tangent there, but with the unschooling, the interest-led, the child follows curiosity, they're learning through life, projects, and passions. It's great for free-spirited learners. It needs parental trust and presence. So you have to trust yourself as well as your child, and you need to be present to just observe and to just watch over them and what they're learning. Then you have the eclectic / the custom model. This is the other model that I incorporated with the school at home model, because we live a bohemian type of lifestyle where it's really easygoing. We value our peace. We value being disconnected from the noise of social media and all the things that are going on in the world. Yes, we know what's going on in the world. That is important through friends, family, or I'll happen to see it online, but we live a extremely peaceful life, my daughters and I, just because of all of the trauma that we've gone through years ago with the death of my husband and my daughter's father. We live an extremely peaceful lifestyle, okay? We have a very unique, bohemian, eclectic, peaceful lifestyle. However, we do get down to business, down to the basics in terms of the academics. So that's where the bohemian academics comes from. So the eclectic custom model, it's a blend of everything. You take what works for you, you leave what does not work for you. And honestly, this is where most families land eventually, in that eclectic model where you have gone through a few years of trying this, trying that, feeling like you have to do this, trying to adhere to that, and you find what works for you within the guidelines of your state law, and also understanding how you want your homeschool to flow, what's important for you and your children, and what you want them to accomplish, and how you want them to be as a functioning member of society as they get older. So that's just an overview of some of the models that you can incorporate in your homeschool program, plan, or curriculum. And when I say homeschool models, it means like the structure and the order and what type of homeschool you're doing. So what should you choose? Which one should I choose? I just went over 5 different models. I gave a little bit in-depth knowledge of how I incorporated each model and how I felt about different models. So you're probably asking yourself, what should I choose? And you need to ask yourself these questions. What's our family's rhythm? Are you a family that lives a bohemian, eclectic, unplugged lifestyle where you all are authentic and organic to yourselves and not necessarily trying to model or emulate what you see on social media. Ask yourself, do we need more structure or more flexibility? In the beginning, I started with a lot of structure. I was very rigid to the routine, the structure, and then I had to get to a place to where I gave myself permission and grace to be more flexible, knowing that, okay, my children are going to be learning because I'm a teacher at heart. I'm a teacher at heart. I'm a teacher by vocation. I have a Master of Arts in teaching. I come from the classroom. So that's in me. My children are going to learn whether we're going to the grocery store, or we're going to the park, or we're sitting at a desk at home. Like, they're going to learn because I'm a teacher, and that's just how I'm wired. So you need to ask yourself, do we need more structure or more flexibility? This will change from season to season. Ask yourself, what makes my child light up? Because you don't want to be like a warden at a jail, like, we're doing this, sit down and do this. Like, you want this to be an enjoyable experience for you and your children. This is a very sacred time. This is a very sacred calling, and you want them to look back on their homeschool experience and feel like, you know, I really enjoyed this. I ask my daughters from time to time, like, you guys want to go back to school? And every time I ask, they're like, no, we like this. We like this. So, you know, you want it to be where you're accomplishing what you need to accomplish for them academically, and you're giving them the best that you can give to them academically, and just creating well-rounded individuals and just good humans overall. But you also want them to enjoy it and begin to create their own flow as they get older and get more independent. And then you want to ask yourself, lastly, what gives me peace? You want your homeschool journey to be peaceful. You don't want it to be full of pressure, full of obligation, full of just pressure, unnecessary pressure. You want it to be peaceful. So that's why I walk you through this exact decision in my digital course, the Homeschool Blueprint, okay? In the last video, I talked about my homeschool clarity session, which is a one-to-one session where you get to work with me for 1 hour. I also have a digital course, which is self-study, self-paced. You pay for it, you download it, and you can play it as many times as you need to. Follow the instructions to create your own homeschool program, okay? It's self-paced. It helps you to choose your model. It helps you to design your rhythm for you and your family. And it helps you to start legally aligning with your state law and peacefully aligning with the lifestyle that you want to create for you and your family. So if you're interested in the Homeschool Blueprint, working on your own, walking out the steps on your own, but with professional and experienced guidance, I recommend my Homeschool Blueprint course. And I'm going to link to that in the video description, or you can go to bohemianacademics.com. And also, don't forget to grab the starter guide below if you haven't done so already. That's the free guide that gives you the basics of what you need to start with peace. So homeschooling should always feel like a flow and not a fight. And there's going to be times where you're going to have to tweak things. You're going to have to change things so that it can continue to flow. So I'll see you on the next video as we talk about building your homeschool rhythm, or building a homeschool rhythm that actually works for you and your household, and not necessarily one that you see everyone else doing. So again, this is Carmen Andrea Harris of BohemianAcademics.com. Thanks for hanging out with me in this video. If you got value, drop me a comment in the comment section, like this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace and blessings.